Melanie's Matters TV and radio. We highlight artists, business owners, and we talk about the matters of the community. Beating Addiction with guest Julio Santana and addiction specialist Lansing Travers. Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Melanie's Matters. Today, guys, we're going to have a great show. This is going to be an educational show. As you guys know, I try to bring to form educational pieces, and I highlight business owners and artists. So today's show is about addiction. And not only will we hear a story about addiction, we're going to get educated from an addiction counselor. So with us, we have Mr. Julio Santana. How are you, sir?
Good, and yourself?
Very good, very good. So the reason why Julio is here is because he actually put on Facebook that he was in recovery. And honestly, I've known Julio for about 20-some years, and I didn't even know that he had an addiction problem. So, Julio, can you please explain us first, like, the history, and then kind of like bring us forward? Like, how did you get started, and what was your drug of choice?
Okay, great. I would like to first thank you for having me on today.
Absolutely.
Great. Okay, my drug of choice was alcohol.
Okay.
It ran rampant in my family.
Okay.
From my parents to their brothers, etc. Okay. Coming up, I lived, a very good life.
Okay.
Pretty much was born with a silver spoon in my mouth. Took a lot of things for granted coming up.
Okay.
Didn't really have to work hard for things.
Okay.
Okay. As I was coming up, I was, well known in the business community. And I was just accustomed to a certain way of living. Went to college, graduated. During college, I did pick up alcohol in excess. I really didn't never have to study to get through college.
Wow.
I mean, it was just like given to me.
Wow.
Graduated from college, went to Ford Motor Company, was an executive there, did well. From there, I just continued on with open franchises with a friend of mine, Subway franchises, the best friend of mine, and started practicing the entrepreneuristic lifestyle. Okay. And about 4 years ago, my mom was diagnosed with cancer. And all along, once again, alcohol ran in the family, so I was a drinker. But when I found out that she had cancer, I was actually living in Georgia. And my father at that time was 89 years old. And looking at my father taking care of his wife, who was 76 at that time, big age difference. And my father would always say that he would be first to the grave and always take care of mama.
Right.
So to find out that she had cancer and everything, was kind of hard on me.
Yeah, sure.
So I came back to Baltimore and tried to do my best in taking care of both of them. And my father did a great job, tremendous job in taking care of my mother. But the drinking intensified at that point. And it was like I was becoming reckless financially. All my responsibilities I was neglecting. And pretty much I went from silver spoon to dog pulling a spoon. And I just wouldn't wish it on anyone. But so I went from having everything to having nothing. Because I just dropped working, I stopped working, didn't care. Even to the fact that even personal hygiene wasn't even a major factor in my life. It was like, as long as I'm there to make sure that my parents were alive. Some of my bills, even with child support, I became behind on that. I had the police looking for me with that. But the drinking was my first priority. As long as I can cope, the drinking was my coping mechanism with all my pain that I was going through. So basically, as long as I was able to scratch up enough change, because I done blew all my assets that I currently had, just trying to chase a drink and getting over and dealing with the pain and trying to support my family, but I wasn't really supporting them. I was kind of, because they saw that, what was going on with me, and it was hurting them. And both of my parents, when they became ill, because shortly after, my father knew he had cancer, while my mother was going through her situation, but he didn't tell me. And so that was kind of rough on me, come find out 4 months after my mother passed that my father was in the hospital, called me to the hospital, and then found out he had prostate cancer. So another Jagger. And along with that, the drinking just continued. I didn't care. However, I could come up with any change to get a drink. And it was a shame because at one point in time, I was self-supportive. And I didn't need for anything. But I let the power of alcoholism take me straight down. It was just a spiral downhill from that point. So my parents became deceased. And like I said, my father lived 18 months after my mom passed. Shocking, because they expected him to go, but he was strong, and he let the cancer, you know, run its course. He didn't want to be medicated, and he didn't want to see me struggle with the sight of seeing him do so bad. So the last thing he said to me, "Son, please stop drinking," and then looked up in the sky. And that day, I knew it was his last day. Because the way he looked up at the sky and he said, "I love you." He always told me he loved you, but it was the way he said it. And I received that call 3 in the morning. And I have a brother. We really don't see eye to eye. So the power struggle between, you know, putting my family to rest went on between us, and we continued to drink. I continued to drink, letting it take control of my life. My life became very unmanageable, and continued. I came to a point where I became homeless. Stayed in the shelters downtown in Fallsway. And when they were full, I slept under the bridge, slept in creeks. And you would never expect that from the people that know me, to even think that that was something that I actually went through or would go through or would even accept that, because I always lived a higher standard of living. But yes, that became me, all through the power of alcohol.
Wow, okay, ladies and gentlemen, that was a powerful opening, and like I said, I've been knowing Julio for about 20 years, and I've never heard this story until now, and it just goes to show you that no matter where you come from, you can fall in the wrong crowd or get hooked up with the wrong thing, and it can just send you down the river. So on that note, we're going to take a very brief break. You're watching Melanie's Matters TV and radio show. A word from our sponsors. Become a state licensed and certified insurance agent. You'll be certified to market life, health, auto, and home. A 3-day course is just $99. Also offering online courses to get your investment license for free. Make the call today that could change your life. Call 410-365-4665.
Hi, my name is Tanya Lanier, owner and operator of Fresh Start, formerly known as Chelsea's. I've been in business for over 20 years. I do run 3 locations. The newest location is 137 Main Street. We do have a state-approved curriculum, which is Horton Mifflin. We focus on education and nutrition. We also focus on informing our parents of all upcoming new laws, because we are here not only to educate the children, educate our staff and our parents. We believe that all children can learn, and we do not believe that children cannot be taught the proper things that they need to take them through life. That's why we here At Fresh Start, formerly known as Chelsea's, we're here to give your child a fresh start.
To enroll your child into our Learning Center, call 443-522-2678. Do you want a vehicle that is exclusively for you? Call Cedric Lee at Exclusive Motor Cars. His number is 410-367-5327 or 443-630-7172. They're located at 4660 Reisterstown Road, Baltimore, Maryland, 21215, and you can check out their inventory by visiting www.exclusivemotorcarsmd.com. And if you have credit problems, Cedric will help you with that as well. Carport Sedan Services. Wherever you need to go, we will get you there quickly and safely. Call 410-233-8800 or 410-233-8801, serving all of Baltimore and surrounding counties. We are back. Thank you so much for hanging out with us. If you missed the first half of the show, we talked to Mr. Julio Santana. He was telling us about how he ended up on that windy road and that led him to lose everything. So we're going to continue with that story. So before the break, you talked about you lost your mom, you lost your dad, and you were like homeless. So can we continue that story?
Sure. Being homeless was not fun at all.
Yeah.
I had to try and figure out where my next meal came from. And down Falls Way, there are a lot of different avenues of getting meals. So I made sure I was down there every time to try and catch a meal because the money ran short. And my friends, my true friends, because I had a lot of friends that when I had money to buy alcohol or put in their pocket so that they can do whatever they needed to do that to support their habits as well, they were always around. Like even when I had to find side jobs because I let alcohol take me from like 9 to 5. So I just had to find side jobs. And they would wait till I come home. They would staying right around the liquor store, waiting for me. He's like, well, I know when Julio gets off or comes around, I know he's gonna buy a drink. But I just pretty much, it came to a point where as though I had plenty of opportunity if I would get off the alcohol, and I just chose not to. And one day, about this time last year, I was in my neighborhood where I grew up, and I was drinking a beer. And a revelation came to myself, not a good one, but it was like, I'm gonna die with a bottle in my hand, and it is nothing. I can't shake this habit. And I just knew in my heart that I couldn't shake it. And I said to myself, but I know I'm better. I know I can do it. Well, what did I do? I went ahead and got another beer, which was not the right thing to do, but it's the thing that my body and mind told me to do. Then I went and got another. So then what I did, I went, my cousin was letting me stay in his family home because it was vacant. He said, man, I don't want you out there. So I went and got a 6-pack. And I said, I have a roof over my head, so I can just go and drink in there. And I went to sleep, passed out with the door wide open. He comes and he wakes me up and shakes me. He's like, it's now 1 o'clock in the morning. Why is the door open? And he was very angry, very fierce. He didn't put me out, but I could tell that he was very disappointed in me. And he just left, didn't say any more. And so I just woke up and I felt very bad because in my heart, I wanted to stop drinking. And those individuals that strongly were in my corner were like now starting to become distant from me. And they were like, we love you, but you gotta love yourself. And until you start loving yourself, we cannot be up under you. We can't keep giving you the support, and what you do with the support, you go drink. That's not what we're here for. We're here to try and help you, but if you're not gonna help yourself, then what's the purpose of us being around to try and support you? So basically I just sat down and I was thinking. And it was ironic that the day before that incident occurred, a young lady said, I just came out of rehab. And I said, really? And I said, I've been thinking about it, but I don't think that's for me. And she said, well, you need to call this number. And it was a center here in Maryland. And I called the number. And they said, well, let's see what happens if we get a bed available within 24 to 48 hours, are you ready? And I said, I'll be ready. They called me at 7 o'clock at night and said, it's close to our cutoff for admittance, but are you ready to come right now? And I said, no. And I really was honest, I wanted another beer. And they said, well, if you want help, you should find a way to be ready right now. So what did I do? I found a way to be ready. I called the same cousin that shook me up, woke me, and said, look, I know you're mad at me, disappointed. I said, but I really want to go into recovery. And then I got a long pause. He said, no, you don't. And I said, no, I do. And they're ready to pick me up now. Can you please take me? He said, are you sure? They're willing to take you now, and that's what you want to do. And I said, that's exactly what I want to do. Came, picked me up. We met at an undisclosed location, and they picked me up, and that started my road to recovery.
Wow. Wow. So, as of today, how many days do you have clean?
121 days.
Excellent. Excellent. That is worthy of applause. That is worthy. So how does it feel? I mean, how long have you been on that road, abusing alcohol? How long have you been?
I would say I abused alcohol for the last 16 years.
Wow.
But I tremendously abused it to the point of, there is a recovery, but I abused it to no ends for the last 2.5 years.
Okay, wow. So you must feel like a brand new person.
Oh, I feel great.
Yeah.
Since I started this recovery program, it took a minute to get used to it. Because you feel as though I'm not supposed to be here. You still have that mentality that you're better than someone. But guess what? There are people from different areas, different walks of life that are in some type of program, that are addicted to some type of substance. So you never know who you're going to meet. And I've met some very wonderful people. And to hear their story, it's shocking. It's saying that no one's story is better than the next one's.
Wow. Well, I don't know about you, ladies and gentlemen, but first of all, again, I'm glad that Julio found the strength to overcome, or to at least walk the road of being in recovery, because as I can imagine, it's not an easy one.
It's very.
And then you have to change your places, your people, so you have to change everything.
Exactly.
And how hard was that for you?
It was hard. When I first came back to Baltimore, everyone was welcoming me. But I had those that were doubting me.
Sure.
And there's still to this day, people out there saying that I know he's drinking.
Yeah.
It's just going to be a matter of time.
Yeah.
And I'm like, okay, well, I'm going to be that individual that proves you wrong.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I know many have said that, but I am strong-willed at this point to try and battle this addiction. I take one day at a time, and just always think of a goal to accomplish each day. And for some reason, every day, since I'd say after about 4 weeks, into the program, every day I come home with a smile on my face. Yeah. I smile every day. I have not had any anger issues or any depressed moments. Okay. And for any tragic situation, always trying to find a positive outcome.
Good. Wonderful story, wonderful story. So ladies and gentlemen, when we come back, we're going to get educated about addiction. So please stay with us. You're watching Melanie's Matters TV and radio show. A word from our sponsors. Better Detroit Youth Movement and Better Baltimore Youth Movement. Visit www.betterdetroityouth.org. So, you need a vehicle? Well, come on, baby, and ride with the King. Visit King Motors. They're located at 5905 Liberty Road. And you can also check out their inventory by visiting www.king-motors.com. Give Justin a call. He'll help you out. His phone number is 410-277-4545. A Typical Journey, 10 true stories women will relate and men will understand. A Typical Journey is now available on Amazon.com or Melanie'sWorks.com. Kaj bringing back black hair care products to the African American community, located at 4626. We are back, and before we went to break, Julio mentioned a little bit about his support system, so I would like him to elaborate on that, because as I can imagine, when you're going through recovery, you need all the support that you can get. So Julio, who is your support system?
Well, without naming names.
Okay, sure.
I have a best friend that I've known since I was like 5 years old. Been there. It was funny that he said, since you've been home from recovery, we've been together more in 1 week than we have in 2 years.
Wow.
And we've been knowing each other and pretty much seeing each other every day. Yeah. My cousin that I found out while my father was passing was related to me. And knowing him for over 6 years directly. Right. But they've been there for me. They, not going to say held my hand, but they were there for me as far as, making sure that I may go to my meetings, and that's important. Right. Okay, and they were financially supportive in the recovery processes through all the different institutions that I had to go through. And I went through some different institutions that were very good in the recovery process for me. Okay. And without them, I don't think I could have made it, but I had the desire within myself to make it anyway. Okay. But you definitely need support. And please, do not shun the support away, because support is very important. Wow. Wow. So ladies and gentlemen, once again, going through this process, you need support, and as Julio said, you have to have a desire within to want to make a change. And I think
first you have to recognize that, hey, I do have a problem.
Absolutely.
So, again, congratulations to you.
Thank you.
Absolutely. So now we're going to turn this over to our addiction specialist, Mr. Lansing Travers.
Yes.
Okay. So, Mr. Travers, even when you listen to Julio's story, what did you think, especially with the kind of credentials that you have?
Oh, Mr. Santana, I want to congratulate you
Thank you much.
on coming to grips with reality. His story is very real. It's just about a story you hear every day. Mm-hmm. But he's done very, very well. Because so many people relapse. Mm-hmm. So far he has a relapse. And he has spoken of the addiction the way it really is. Very insidious, very cunning, and very unrelenting. And I just want to let him know that he's doing a great job, because the addictive disease, especially alcohol, because it is legal,
right.
It makes it maybe the most dangerous drug in America. Because heroin and cocaine get all the press, but more people die in America from alcohol than any other drug. A lot of people don't know that. Right. That's why I'm here today, to educate you on the pharmacology of drugs. And Baltimore, we're in the top 10 of drug alcohol use, especially as far as overdoses and people being hospitalized. It's really bad. But you're doing great. You're doing very well.
Okay. So Mr. Lansing, can you just give us an overview of addictive? You know, when someone says that, hey, I'm addicted to this, I'm addicted to that, what does that mean in your profession?
Well, basically, I don't want to get too wordy. I just make it what we can understand in layman terms. Sure. The 3 stages are use, abuse, and addiction. And addiction is really the granddaddy, because addiction means that you're going into withdrawal. Your body has to have it. And that's the real danger, because when you're abusing drugs, that means you're using drugs more than regular. Use is when you experiment. So you go from use, experimental, abuse, doing it more than maybe 3 or 4 times a week, to every day. Every day is addiction. And when you get addicted, yeah, you got a problem. You have a real bad problem. And one of the problems we have here in Baltimore is we don't have enough treatment slots. So a lot of people go on waiting lists. And while people are waiting, they're still, going to their addiction. So we all know about the robbery, women selling their body, and men, can't put the men in too. Homelessness, crime, all that is a byproduct of addiction. And it's getting worse. But I have to admit there's more programs now in Maryland than it used to be 10 years ago coming to fore. But we still need more slots. Because I don't understand the young generation. They're just coming out here, hearing about the dangers of addiction, and they're still using. Yeah. So it's like, what do you do? Yeah. What do you do? We educate them and hope that they will take what we call the good news. Take the good news and be preventive, because the feeling of addiction or opiate, heroin, cocaine use, and alcohol is going to start going down to preventive. Okay. See, right now we're in treatment. Treatment means mainly we're getting you after you use the drugs. Right. So now we're going to work on prevention. And that means we're going to try to go to the schools, the colleges, even really kindergarten, and catch them real young. Yeah. And try to do it like that. But, with politicians, they try to make everything political. Got a couple of roadblocks. But
that's what we need.
Yeah, but you make example, Chris Smoke, they laughed at him 30 years ago about decriminalizing drugs. Right. Now look at him. See, now they held to smoke. Right. But he was just before his time. So the war on drugs just not working. It's about treatment. And our friend here has taken advantage. He's a good example. Yeah. has to get treatment.
Yeah. Okay. So when we come back, ladies and gentlemen, we're really going to get educated about the different types of drugs and the categories that they fall into. We'll be right back. You're watching Melanie's Matters TV and radio show. A word from our sponsors. J&F Enterprises, bringing visions to reality, building the 21st century company. Visit jnfenterprises.com. You had a long day at work. Now it's time to chill out and relax. But don't forget to grab your bottle of spirits or more alcoholic beverage. Order your bottle by calling 443-790-6303. Join Lawn Jack every third and fourth Thursday of every month for costume karaoke. For more information, visit www.lawnjackevents.com. Hello, ladies and gentlemen. This is Melanie Barber. I am the CEO of Melanie's Works. Under my umbrella, we have a radio forum which is called Melanie's Matters, and that forum is on blogtalkradio.com. And we also have a YouTube TV channel that focuses on the matters of the community, and we also highlight business owners and artists. I'm reaching out to you today for a very important reason. I do understand that you have your business. You've done the homework, you've done the hard work. Now, it's time for you to start promoting and marketing your business. Now, when you're an entrepreneur, there are a lot of mistakes that have been made or that will be made, but that's okay. But you need to understand the very, very basics of marketing your business. That is why on May the 18th, you are invited to attend our marketing session. We're actually having two. The first one, as I said, is on May the 18th, and that is at 8:30. And the other one is on May the 25th, and that is also at 8:30. Now, the price for each of those classes is $20. However, if you book the classes together, you save $5. The things that we're going to talk about are things that will help you to elevate your business. After all, you didn't go into business for it to fail. A lot of business owners just have missed a few things when it comes to marketing your business and keeping your business out there. So some of the things that we're going to talk about are, well, what is your plan? Do you have a business plan, or are you just freestyling? And if you are just freestyling, we are going to help you to compose a business plan. And a business plan does not have to be something that is formal. And I'll say it again, a business plan does not have to be something that is formal. However, it needs to be able to guide you through the steps of your business. Where do you see your business in 1 year? Where do you see your business in 5 years? So it needs to be outlined that detail. And some of the other things that we're going to talk about, the bell curve. A lot of business owners do not understand the bell curve. And we're going to talk about some very fundamental things that can help you to launch your business and hopefully be successful. So again, the class is on May the 18th. And then that following Monday as well, which is the 25th, we're really going to talk about how to promote on the internet. Okay, I've seen some horror stories about promoting on the internet, so you will be educated. So what I need you to do is to please, if you're interested in this class, and every entrepreneur who is trying to elevate their business should be interested in this class. If you're interested in this class, please go to melaniesworks.com, and that's MELONIS works with an S.com. And just to let you know, my credentials are as follows. I have an associate's degree in early childhood education. I have a bachelor's degree in organizational management, and I have a master's degree in organizational leadership. And the master's degree and the bachelor's degree all fall under the umbrella of business. So I know what I'm talking about. So please do not waste any time in grabbing your seat. Again, this is an internet class, internet based. So all you need is a laptop with a camera, a phone, and even if you don't have a camera, you can still attend this class via phone, and I'll give you all that information. Everything that I've mentioned will be or is on the melaniesworks.com site. So I look forward to helping you to build your brand, to build your business. Okay, because I know you did not come this far to fail. So we gotta put some things into place. Until I see you in class, be good. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for hanging around and looking at today's show. Education is one of the bases of all the shows that I do. So we are getting educated about addiction. So Mr. Travers, can you tell us about the top 10 drug of choice?
Right. Well, what I want to speak about today is prescription drugs, because they've taken over street drugs.
Really?
Yeah, it really have. And the good thing about it is that this will be information everybody can use. You know, mothers, fathers, children. Sure. Because you'd be surprised what's in people's medicine cabinets.
Yeah.
It can kill you. It really can. So I'm gonna start off with top 10 abused prescription drugs. Number one is OxyContin. OxyContin is a pain reliever, narcotic.
Right.
It's for $80 a tablet and $100 per milligram. It will take you out. Any kind of drug that is prescribed for pain reliever has the potential of addiction and an overdose. OxyContin is very expensive. It's called hillbilly heroin, probably because it comes from down south. But the point is, OxyContin is very strong, and you really want to be careful with that, because take it as prescribed. Don't play with it. Xanax, that's a benzodiazepine. Benzodiazepine means it's a psychotropic for mental health. People take that for anxiety and panic disorders. It's highly, highly abused. This is one of the drugs that can be fatal during withdrawal. There are only two ways you can die from withdrawal. One is alcohol detox, and one is benzodiazepine detox. There's only two that you can withdraw from, and you can have a fatal overdose. So you really want to be careful with this drug. It's prescribed for people who are mentally disturbed or have mild. And be careful with the word mild. This means that people who are not really having mental disorders, but they just at the beginning, and you're trying to catch them. But the drug is highly abused. Next one is Vicodin, another pain reliever, which is a narcotic. This is given mostly to football players, sports, and older people. Pain reliever, again, highly addictive, can cause an OD. You have to be careful with that.
Wow.
Suboxone, this is a funny one. Suboxone is a detox medication for opiates, but most people out in the street will find a way to make some money. Suboxone can be sold. People in jails and people in prisons usually get them. But people on the street, they take Suboxone and they sell them just like they do heroin, $5.
Wow.
And you can abuse that. Now, how they get high, it trips me out. because Suboxone is an antagonist, meaning that if you use heroin while you have Suboxone, you get sick. But you know how people on the street, they're pretty smart, very smart. All right, another one, Adderall. Adderall is a psychostimulant. It is used for ADHD disorder and narcolepsy. It's usually used in colleges and for students to make them study. Right? It pumps them up. And people who have high stress jobs, they usually will take it also. But it's highly abused. Professional athletes also use it for stimulant on the field. And one of the organs just got locked up for it. So you want to be careful with this drug. Usually this is prescribed to children by the doctor to get it. Right. Now, a lot of people take Valium. Valium is treats anxiety, alcohol withdrawal, and muscle spasms. Now, if it's incorrectly prescribed, this will be abused too because it is a depressant and it will slow down your heartbeat and slow down your respiratory system. So, so you have to really be careful with this drug because it's prescribed very widely prescribed. So you have to really be careful around children with this one. Percocet. I think a lot of people know what Percocet is. Probably one of the #1 pain relievers. Yeah. Highly prescribed. Now, this is for moderate pain, but a lot of people, they crush it into powder and they snort it like heroin and cocaine. Wow. Now, Percocet is a little stronger than Xanax, but again, it's a narcotic, and it will slow your heartbeat, it will slow down your blood pressure, and will cause you respiratory distress, and you can die. Have to be careful with this one also. Now, here's another one. Ambien, the sleeping medication. Now, people say, how can you abuse that? Well, it's sedative, which is a depressant, brings you down. It's for you for insomnia. Now, a lot of people that smoke crack, a lot of people that snort cocaine, they can get too high. Heart start racing, blood pressure runs them up. What they do is they take Ambien to come down. Wow. And that's what they do. Go right back up. So what you're doing, you're stretching your heart. Ambien to come down, and go back up. So what you're doing, you're stretching your heart. And what that will cause a heart attack. If you're not aware. Hopefully somebody will be reading this and say, well, I got to start taking the 2 drugs and stretching my heart up. Wow. Very widely prescribed. Now we're getting to the real hard stuff. Fentanyl. Fentanyl is used for extreme pain, such as for cancer patients. Highly addictive, and they have people on the street now that sell heroin cover fentanyl. Fentanyl is 100 times stronger than heroin. Wow. It's an opiate synthetic. So this drug comes in patches and powder. The patch is like a gel. And I have seen people take the gel out of the patch. It's called permeation. Rubbing the skin. It's so strong, rubbing your skin, it will dissolve to the capillaries, go to your veins, you know, blood harboring. So this is a big killer. So if you want to call fentanyl, be very, very careful, because this is very strong. Last but not least, we're going to talk about Klonopin. This is used for seizures in children and adults and pain disorders. But you can use it also with Adderall and alcohol. But see, what happens when you take any medication with alcohol, you do something called synergism. You take 2 drugs, combine them, and then what happens, the 2 will be made into 1. And that makes both drugs 5 times stronger. And that's what will cause heart attack. So what I'm basically saying is, a lot of these drugs, people don't know the pharmacology of it, meaning that they don't know that the end result of abusing them can be a death. And these drugs are in almost everybody's medicine cabinet.
That's the scary part.
That's it.
That's the scary part. Because I know, what is it, oxycodone?
Yeah, oxycodone.
Yeah. When I had a tooth extracted some years ago, that's what they give you.
Yeah.
That's what they give you.
Oxycodone is a derivative of Percocet, a derivative of all the opiates. So, you know, they come in different degrees.
Right.
So, all of them will kill you if you abuse them.
If you abuse them.
Yeah, oh, definitely. Because they come in like 5 milligrams, 10 milligrams, right?
Yeah.
But remember, it's opiate. And opiate is a depressant.
Right.
Slows down your heartbeat, slows down your blood pressure, and it will cut out your respiratory system. So what happens, you will really choke to death. And you think, oh, I can't breathe. You can't breathe because you took too much of opiate-based drug. And so many people get the prescription and they don't know the dangers of what.
Yeah.
So you gotta be careful. You got children. You know, that's the main thing I want to convey. Children, you know, this kind of medication is everyday medication, but keep it locked up. Keep it away from children.
Wow.
You know.
And then I'm trying to imagine my medicine cabinet at home. I have a 8-year-old, and I know I have stuff in there that's definitely outdated, but stuff in there that can, like you said, do harm. You know, if a kid takes it.
And see, and the sad part about it, they can take different drugs. Because some of them look like candy. Right. You know what I mean? You go with different color pills. And before you know it, day before going through season, or you had to call ambulance. And basically, it'll be your fault. Because this kind of stuff needs to be locked away. You know.
But it seemed like they would have more education about that. Because I know when I went to get my prescription filled, I didn't read the little tablet that they gave.
Nobody hardly does. Nobody.
I think the pharmacist should have said, well, hey, look, this is this is dangerous. If you have a kid, keep it locked up. I think it should be more interaction, more education about it.
You have been to most pharmacies are what? Busy.
Yeah.
So they don't take that time.
I mean, but still.
Right.
But still.
Right. So and people don't take time to read the papers they give, because I think by law now, when you give out a drug, you have
Such
to give
these,
kind of notification. But who reads that stuff? You know, and so you don't read it till somebody takes the time.
Yeah.
So it's real important that you follow the directions and keep the medication out of the wrong hands. Because you got family members, they'll come and steal medication. So you know, you just gotta be careful.
Wow. Yeah.
And you gotta know the danger. Because if you go in unaware and think, well, I can take 5 of these, I only said take 2.
Right.
Before you know, you're going through respiratory failure,
And you don't even know
heart arrhythmia, all kinds of stuff.
Yeah.
Because you didn't follow directions.
Wow.
And you know, I want to stress that what you have in your medicine cabinet, look it over. If it's old medication, give it up.
Right.
Just throw it down the toilet.
Right.
You know what I mean? Don't save it. Because you don't want to fall in the wrong hands.
Yeah.
And then you have those individuals making cocktails. Right?
Yeah, right. That's what we're talking about, the synergism.
Right.
You're mixing different drugs and the chemical equation of them combine, and it makes it into one. And that one is more powerful than all those separate. So you don't want to do that. But you know, we gotta just keep on educating the people. And hopefully they'll get it. And pass this information on.
I mean, aside from educating people, what can we do, you know, as parents or as, you know, people in general, what can we do with these types of drugs or any types of drugs? What can we do to...
Well, the main thing to do, I came up with 5 boys in my household. And one thing that I always did when I had medication, I would always make sure the medication I had it locked away. Maybe in a jewelry box. Okay. They were little, so I would put it up on the top shelf in the closet and put some clothes. Because you know, children are sneaky.
Yes, they are.
They be looking around.
Yes,
so you have to be preventative. You know, you have to put stuff away, lock it away, because anything can happen. But basically, you just got to be responsible. Be informed and be responsible. And that's all you can do, because things are going to happen.
Yeah.
You want to make sure it don't happen to you.
Yeah.
You know, that's the main thing.
Wow, those are words to live by. So, Mr. Travis, tell people your credentials first of all, and then follow up with how people can get in contact with you.
Oh, I'm a CAC, alcohol director with the Maryland State Supervisory and a substance abuse professional. I also am an HIV certified supervisor and trainer. I've been in the field 24 years, and I can do intervention, HIV training, DUI, DWI, reinstatement classes, and anything you need in the field. I'm pretty well rounded. Pretty well rounded. So if you want to consult, I work with other programs, and that's been pretty good. Some programs do need help, but they want extra help. But I found that if we work together, it makes them better about it, because nobody knows everything.
Right.
That's why I don't mind consulting with people.
Yeah.
Put our brains together and come up with a solution.
Okay. Excellent, excellent. Ladies and gentlemen, this has been an informational show. So I just like to thank everyone for hanging out with us. And I know that you learned something. I learned a wealth of information, so I know that you guys learned something. So please reach out to Mr. Lansing or Mr. Travers if you need help. Give me your phone number, please.
Phone number 443-500-9507.
Good. And for those who are struggling with addiction, you can do it like Mr. Santana here. You just have to take one day at a time. And those of you who are in recovery, my hat goes off to you. It really does. It goes off to you. So until the next show, ladies and gentlemen, you guys take care, and I'll talk to you soon.
Lansing Travers is an independent certified addiction specialist. If you need help, he could be reached at 443-500-9507. Thanks for watching Melanie's Matters TV and radio show. Special thanks to Julio Santana for being brave enough to share his story. Addiction is a daily struggle. With the help of a supportive support system, you can beat it. But first you have to acknowledge that there is a matter to beat. Is today your day one? Take care.